When you're building your base in Factorio, it's so easy to get caught up in the excitement, expanding your factory, rushing for more science, unlocking the next big technology. But while you're busy scaling up, there's something quietly falling apart right behind you, your defenses. At first, everything seems fine, your threats are firing, biters are getting shredded, and you feel completely safe. But here's the thing, defenses in Factorio don't take care of themselves. If you don't pay attention, they slowly fall apart and you might not notice it until it's too late. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why this happens and more importantly, how to automate your defenses so you can protect your factory without micromanaging every attack. Let's get into it. Why do defenses slowly fall apart in Factorio? Let's break it down. Every time a gun turret fires, it consumes a magazine and it doesn't take long for them to burn through their entire supply, especially during heavy attacks. If you forget to restock them, the turrets will simply stop shooting, leaving your base wide open. Flamethrower turrets draw oil from storage tanks, which act as a buffer to keep them firing during attacks. But here's the thing, even with a buffer, the oil still needs to be refilled regularly. If the oil supply stops, the tanks will eventually run dry, and unlike ammo, oil relies on pipes to stay connected. If a pipe gets damaged, the oil flow can be cut off instantly. When that happens, the flamethrower turret will stop firing and biters can break through much faster. Even if your turrets are fully supplied, biters will keep gnawing at your walls. Each attack chips away a little bit more health. If you don't repair the damage in time, those weak spots can eventually collapse, opening the way for enemies to flood into your base. That's why you need to regularly deliver repair packs and ammo to keep your defenses strong. Now you might be thinking, do I really need to worry about this right away? Well, in the early game, not so much. At first, defense maintenance isn't a big problem. You're starting small, your base is compact, your pollution is still low, which means biters won't be attacking you that often. The attacks that do happen, they usually come from the same direction, which makes them predictable and easy to defend. On top of that, the enemies themselves are weak, they don't have much health, so you won't be burning through ammo quickly, and they're not likely to cause serious harm to your walls or turrets. So early on, your repairs will be minimal, if you even need to make any. On top of that, your base is small and compact. It means there aren't many turrets to resupply or walls to maintain. Even when repairs are needed, they don't take long to complete and you can easily manage it with just a handful of repair packs and some extra ammo. At this stage, defense maintenance is pretty manageable, it's quick, it's cheap, and it doesn't take much of your attention. But as your factory grows, all of that will start to change. As your base grows, things start to change quickly. Factory grow is essential if you want to progress in the game. You need to build more machines, expand your production lines and scale up your science packs, but it comes with a trade-off. More machines mean more pollution. Every new drill, every furnace, every assembling machine is adding to the pollution cloud surrounding your base. And that pollution doesn't just sit there. As your factory grows, the pollution cloud gets bigger. The bigger it gets, the more biter nests it reaches. And when more nests gets bothered, you're going to face more frequent and much larger attacks. Now, there are ways to manage pollution. You can slow it down by using efficiency modules. You can also leave trees in place to help absorb some of it. But the truth is, those solutions only buy you time. As your factory keeps growing, pollution is going to keep spreading no matter what you do. And that leads to a new set of challenges. You need to spend more ammo to fight off the increasing attacks. You'll burn through more repair packs as your wall and turrets take heavier damage. You need to ramp up production just to keep up with those extra demands. And you'll spend more and more of your time running around, restocking turrets and repairing your defenses. Time that could be better spent elsewhere, like building, optimizing, or exploring. So the real question becomes, how can you protect your base without constantly babysitting it? That's where automating your defenses really starts to matter. So what if you didn't have to handle all this defense maintenance yourself? What if you could let someone or something else take care of the dirty work, like robots? That's where automation really shines. But before you can hand the job over to robots, there's one important thing you need to have in place, a solid, reliable production line. You need to make sure you're producing enough of the key items that your defenses depend on, magazines to keep your gun turrets firing, repair packs to fix damaged walls and turrets, oil barrels to fuel your flamethrowers, inserters to keep supplies moving, chests to store your ammo and materials, and of course, a steady flow of new turrets, whether gun turrets, laser turrets, or flamethrower turrets. Once your production is stable, you can start thinking about automation. One of the first steps is using transport belts to deliver supplies. This method works. You can connect your production line to your belts and send ammo, repair packs and other materials directly to your turrets. But here's the catch, Every time you place a new turret, you need to extend the belt. It takes time, it clutters your base, and belts can start interfering with other parts of your factory as your layout gets more complicated. So while belts are a good early option, it's usually better to wait just a little longer until you unlock robots, roboport and logistics chest. Once you have those, automating defense maintenance becomes so much easier. You won't need to redesign belts every time you expand. You can simply let your logistic robots handle the resupplying and repairs for you. Automating your defense maintenance with robots sounds great, but how do you actually get there? Well, it's not just about waiting. You need to actively work towards unlocking the right technologies. This means prioritizing research that gets you closer to robotic logistics. And here's the key, it's not enough to just have production lines for your defenses. You already have ammo, repair packs and oil barrels being produced. Now you need to build production lines for your logistics system. That includes construction robots, logistic robots, passive provider chest, also known as red chests, requester chest, also known as blue chest, and of course, roboports to connect everything together. These are an item you can manually craft in bulk. It's just not practical. You need large quantities of each, and the only realistic way to keep up is to automate their production just like you do with the rest of your factory. So while you're expanding your base and scaling your defenses, make sure you're also building the infrastructure that will one day let you hand over the maintenance work to your logistic robots. Once you've got your logistics system in place, it's time to start automating your defense maintenance. The best place to start is with structure repairs. This is actually one of the easiest things to automate. When you place roboports, they have built-in storage slots for repair packs. Once construction robots have been placed in a roboport, they'll automatically start repairing any damaged walls, turrets or structures nearby without you lifting a finger. But to make this really effective, you need to do one more thing. Make sure your roboports are connected to each other. When roboports are linked, your resources can move freely across your entire base. This step is where you also start building out your logistic network, the backbone of automated supply chains. Now, for your roboports to stay stocked with repair packs, you need a simple setup. Place a requester chest, that's the blue chest, right next to the roboport. Add an inserter to feed the roboport with repair packs from the requester chest. For this to work, you'll also need a provider chest, that's the red chest, where your repair packs are produced and stored, and logistic robots in your roboports to move the repair packs from the provider chest to the requester chest. You can even control how many repair packs each roboport should request by setting limits on the requester chest. With this setup, your robots can move the repair packs from their production lines to the needed roboports where the construction robots can take care of the repairs. And just like that, your first step towards fully automated defense maintenance is done. Your construction robots will now patrol the area and automatically repair any damage, saving you time and keeping your perimeter strong without constant micromanagement. Once you've automated repairs, the next step is to automate your ammunition delivery. This is especially important for gun turrets and flamethrower turrets since they both rely on a steady supply to keep working. Let's start with the gun turrets. The good news is that ammo delivery works in almost the same way as the repair pack setup for roboports. Here is how you do it. Place a requester chest next to each gun turret and set it up to request magazines. Connect the chest to your logistic network. Use an inserter to feed ammo directly into the turret from the chest. You can also control exactly how much ammo is delivered and even choose the ammo type directly from the chest settings. There is no need to keep the chest stocked with huge amounts of ammo. You risk losing those resources if the chest gets destroyed. A smaller reserve is usually safer as it will get resupplied automatically anyway. Also, if you decide to upgrade to better ammo later, the gun turret will always finish using its current magazines before switching to the next one. This can be super handy when transitioning to armor piercing or uranium rounds without wasting existing ammo. Now let's talk about flamethrower turrets. Flamethrowers are usually a bit simpler to automate because they share oil through a connected pipe network. You don't need to deliver oil directly to each turret, you just need to keep the oil barrels moving through your logistic system. Here is a simple loop to automate the barrel flow. Set up an active provider chest at your oil barrel production line. Set up a requester chest at the assembling machines that unpacks the oil barrels. Set up a requester chest near the barrel production to collect empty barrels. And place an active provider chest at the assembling machines to send the empty barrels back into the system. This creates a closed loop where barrels continuously cycle between being filled and emptied, so once you've produced enough barrels, you won't need to craft anymore. Alternatively, you can directly connect your flamethrower network to your oil supply or production line. And just like that, you've automated both your repairs and your ammunition delivery, your robots handle the resupply, your flamethrowers stay fueled, and your defenses keep running without you constantly babysitting them. So far, you've automated repairs, you've automated ammo delivery, but there's one more step that can really take your defenses to the next level, anticipating failure. Even with all this automation in place, sometimes structures get completely destroyed. When that happens, they can't be repaired. They need to be rebuilt from scratch, and here's the good news, you can automate that too. Just like with ammo and repair packs, you simply need to make sure the right resources are available on your logistic network. That way, your construction robots can quickly fly in and rebuild walls, turrets, or anything else that gets wiped out during an attack. To set this up, all you need to do is send those replacement parts, like walls and turrets, into the logistic network, often in an active provider chest. Once they're in the logistic system, your bots can instantly pick them up and deliver them to any damaged area that needs rebuilding. The most common structures you want to prepare for replacement are walls, since they're often the first to get destroyed, and turrets, which are high priority defense points and the most exposed after walls. By anticipating failures and making spare parts available, you've now fully automated your defense maintenance, from repairs to resupply to full rebuilding. And with all of this in place, your factory can keep growing, your defenses stay strong, and you get to spend more time building, optimizing, and exploring, without having to constantly babysit the front lines. If you find this helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.